So how many pairs would you say you have total in your stock room?
I mean, it's possible to count all of it. I'd probably say close to 900 left now.
So you're looking at definitely maybe over $100,000 worth of product.
I mean, compared to the amount of Yeezys that there's in stock, probably closer to a million after it's all calculated. On the website, there's a little over a million, but there's some consignment. I think it's maybe 1.4 million on the website, but there's consignment there too. Like I was saying, if you look here, like there's a bunch of like foam posits like Dornbeckers, Supremes, Panormans, the whole Dornbecker set. Like there's a lot of shoes. We have 800 to 900 pairs, which isn't as much as we're gonna have, obviously. It's been 2 years, but we sold off a lot when the store first opened. So a lot of it sold. So we have 800 to 900 left, but a lot of them are like high-priced items. Like if the shoe goes for like 2,000 or 3,000. Some of the shoes, Air Mags. We have 3 pairs of Air Mags. Those sell for 6,500 each. That's
Wow.
like Yellow Lobsters, for example, like 4,000 for a size 6. Like it's impossible to find. We have a size 6 and a 6.5. Like a lot of items here are high price, so it's not only the quantity, but like people say, it's the quality.
Okay, and so are you just like a self-owned business, or do you have like partners or?
I'm at school. That's like my full-time job. Sneakers just part-time. So I have a guy that he like sits and answers phone calls and all that. I have another guy for shipping. Like when something sells on the site, he has to go and they have to go and package it, ship it, print labels, all that. Because I'm in school, so I can't do that. I just control basically like prices on the website and buying inventory.
And then you also like work with a lot of celebrities and stuff. Can you name some of the celebrities you've worked with, and can you tell us a little bit about some of those experiences?
I don't usually name it because not all of them are open about it, but like one person that's open, obviously, you know, is DJ Khaled. Started off like I just showed him a few pairs of shoes. A little more than a year later, he's a great friend, like a great person to hang around, and cool guy overall. Like we just came back from tour for like 3 weeks. Like I had break, so we went on tour. We went to Vegas, went to Cali. It's a dope time. He's like a cool guy overall. He buys like every sneaker comes out. Shows a lot of love to Jordan, Adidas, all the brands basically. He just buys everything. And that's like one of the guys I deal with. But he's also, now he's a friend. It started off with just sneakers, but now it's like, we built a relationship. Like, he's a good friend of mine now, so. Patience is key. If you have a shoe and you want 3,000 for it, someone offers you 27, it's fine. You don't need to take it. You can wait it out, you'll get 3,000. So that's one of them. Patience is key. Another one, don't play yourself. Don't ever do something that's going to make you look bad in front of others. It's going to dilute your brand, make your business worse. 3, stay in school. He makes it really clear how important school is, despite all the sneakers selling and tours and all that. No matter what, he's like, oh, you got to go back to school, or you got to go get good grades in school. He's always on top of school. Like, he thinks everyone should go to school, basically. Like, all kids and children, young adults, even college, he says, got to go to college, all that, despite all other stuff going on.
That's dope, dope, dope. Okay, so, I mean, would you say that it's hard balancing being the sneaker don and still trying to acquire a GED?
Almost impossible. But it definitely has to be done. Sneakers are not first, school is. So definitely gotta do school, and then on my free time, do as much sneakers as possible, because I know in the morning I gotta go to bed earlier for school. In the morning, gotta get up in the morning for school. Break is only a certain amount of time, gotta come back for school. So everything revolves around school, but I try to do sneakers as much as I can.
So, I mean, you like, probably, I'm assuming you don't get an allowance. Obviously, like your full time job
Yeah.
is working like as a sneaker reseller.
Nah, actually, that's basically my job. I never got an allowance. Like, even as a kid, a lot of people get allowance, but like I never got allowance. Everything I did, like whether I sold candy in school, whether I washed someone's car in my neighborhood when I was 11 or 12 to get money, like whatever it was, I always found a way to make money. So I never really needed money from my parents. They always supported me with whatever I did. If I asked them for money, yeah, they would give it to me, no problem. But like it wasn't necessary.
So, what would you say has been like the hardest part of like doing the sneaker selling at a young age? And like, do you ever run into like any issues or people like take you for granted because you're younger and think you're like inexperienced or?
No, the biggest issue is juggling school and sneakers at the same time. Because school's my full-time job, sneakers is like a part-time. So that's by far the biggest issue.
So, I mean, you work with a lot of celebrities, obviously, and DJ Khaled is like one of the biggest names. Is there anybody who you say is like bigger than him? Is there like who would you say is the actual like the biggest sneakerhead you sold to or like you frequently sell
DJ
to?
Khaled, no question.
What's the most he spent in like one sitting?
Probably, I don't know if he's okay with me saying the number, so I'm not gonna disclose how much he spends usually, but he's definitely spent. Basically, he has a good relationship with Kanye and Jordan, all them, so they all show him love by sending him shoes anyway. So if it's not that, then after the shoe releases, and he wants it, like if it was way after release, like thousands probably in a day, like off a few pairs, maybe tens of thousands, but just know it was a lot.
Just no. Okay. I mean, all right. So you could even say like how many pairs, like what's the most amount of pairs he's bought in one sitting, and then everybody else can just kind of like come up with that number themselves.
Pretty sure it was 23 or 22 pairs in a day, but a lot of them were heaters, so.
Do you feel like resellers hurt the game for sneakerheads who genuinely care about buying sneakers to rock, or because they hold sentimental value?
I think regardless, resellers or not, everyone that likes sneakers and can't afford the hobby, like kids, and do nothing else but sneakers. Everyone says resellers ruin the game. If there's no resellers, there is no game. People just go in and buy shoes. It sits on the stores. If you want it, you buy it. And eventually, there's always going to be resellers. Because, like the Galaxy foam release, there's 1,000 people that want the shoe and only 100 shoes. It's all supply and demand. Now, if Nike and Jordan, they made unlimited quantities, kind of like they did for the 7210s, almost, that'd be a different story. It would hurt the resellers. It wouldn't hurt them before the release because they'd get them before the release and sell it. And probably wouldn't hurt them a while after. But when on the drop, it would definitely hurt the resellers. But since they don't do that with stuff like OVOs, Supreme 5s, Jordan 1s, there's always going to be resellers. Just supply and demand.
So you don't think sneaker reselling will ever die out?
Every fab dies out eventually. But when the sneakers die out, so reselling. I don't look at this as my lifetime job. I have a lot of other options and plans, so this is just for now. But every fab dies out eventually. There's nothing that stays around forever.
Right. And so do you think, like how long do you think you'll be in the resale game?
I mean, I started because I genuinely like sneakers. Now it's just, I like sneakers and I try to build my collection every day. So I resell stuff and just make money and build my collection. But probably a couple more years.
Where do you see yourself after you've done selling, selling all of your inventory?
A few things. I just want to get a major in business at college, and from there I'll figure out what I want to do.
I
mean,
I've had
more
over
than
a
a few
million.
thousand, more
Yeah.
than,
close to
probably over 100,000 for sure.
definitely over 100,000. Definitely
Gotcha.
over 100,000. $100,000. But I'm really not into how much it's worth because it's a passion I have, and I never thought that collecting one shoe would turn into 882.
So I don't really have a brand preference. Like Kanye West definitely makes it happen on whatever he works with, whether it was Nike, Adidas, Louis Vuitton. And then Jordan's like, how could you like not like this Jordan? Like,